I do some really weird things in hotel rooms, but before you think I'm paranoid, last year guests at a 5-star French hotel had over $1 million in luxury goods stolen. Hostels, Airbnbs, or fancy resorts, no place is immune. And after staying in hundreds of hotels across dozens of countries, I've developed some strange habits to keep my stuff safe. Okay, this first one is gonna sound weird, but stick with me. I keep my hotel room absolutely spotless, and I'm hyper aware of exactly where I leave everything. Like, I know what position my zippers are in, how my clothes are folded in my suitcase, the exact position of my bathroom bag and everything inside. This isn't something I do consciously, it's just a habit I accidentally picked up and it turned into a security superpower. Back before I got LASIK, I was basically blind without my contacts in. One night I couldn't find my phone and I spent like 5 or 10 minutes just fumbling around in the dark like a numbnuts. After that night, I started training myself to remember exactly how I leave things so I can find them even with my eyes closed. And this habit turned out to be pretty useful for security, because if you know exactly how you left things, you'll notice immediately when something's been moved. If you leave your room all messy and disorganized, then the housekeepers are going to need to shift things around in order to tidy up. They're moving things, organizing things, touching things, and the more things get touched, the more opportunities and temptation are for things to go missing. Compare that to someone who has everything completely organized, everything inside their bags and packing cubes, and all their surfaces clear stuff. There's just less for anyone to interact with. Now, I'm not standing there every single time I leave thinking to myself, okay, I'm gonna know if anyone touches this. It just all happens automatic now. All right, next one. This one is super simple, but most people don't do it. Whenever I check into a guest house or an old-fashioned hotel that still gives you those physical keys with a keychain attached to it with a room number on it, I immediately remove the key from the room number. I leave that room number keychain inside of my room, and then I attach my key to my wallet. That way I only have to protect one thing instead of two, and if my key does get stolen, the thief doesn't know which room it opens. Now, if it's a key card in the hotel, I immediately remove it from the folder that says the room number on it. Think about it. You're at the pool and you set your key card folder out on the chair while you take a dip in the pool with your family. Anyone could swipe that folder and have a direct path to your room with the key. So instead, always remove that key card from the folder and leave the folder in your room. It takes like 5 seconds, but it could save you some huge headaches. Okay, this next one changed my entire approach to hotels. I used to be that friendly traveler who would chat with everyone at the front desk, the housemaids, all the workers. I remember one day one of the workers asked how I was, and I told him that I was excited because I was going out on a full day tour and I'd be back at like 9 p.m. But as soon as I walked away from that conversation, I thought to myself, why am I telling strangers exactly how long my room's gonna be empty and unattended? Since then, I've totally stopped doing this. Nowadays, I'm still polite, I still say good morning, but when it comes to my plans, I keep my interactions vague and brief. I say, just heading out for a bit instead of gone for the whole day. I also try to avoid mentioning expensive activities. Because the thing is, most hotel theft isn't Ocean's 11. It's opportunistic. And if staff or anyone else who overhears your conversation knows that you're gonna be gone for 8 hours, that opens a window for them. Look, 99% of the time, nothing bad is gonna happen, but why risk it? It's about making yourself a harder target. Thieves like easy opportunities, so don't give it to them. But even when I'm being stealthy, I'll still add in another layer of protection. When I leave my room, I leave the TV on, or I leave an old iPhone or iPad playing music in a room. When I do music, I like to put my iPhone or iPad or whatever inside the bathroom and leave the door just cracked a tiny bit so you can hear the music from the outside. That way, if anyone does happen to come into your room, they'll think someone's in the bathroom and they might get spooked. I've actually come back to my room once and seen housekeeping about to knock, but then when they heard the music, they just moved on, which is great because even legitimate housekeeping skipping a room leaves less opportunities for things to go missing. Plus, you get to come back to some music instead of silence, which is kind of nice. So quick checklist before you leave your hotel room. Don't tell the front desk or employees your plans. Check. Leave music playing in the bathroom. Check. Hit the like button to support Mitch and his travels. Check. Kidding aside, if you do want an actual checklist, I built a free packing list tool that auto-generates what you need on your list depending on your type of trip and your trip length. You can customize it, check things off, the whole deal. It's pretty sweet and completely free, and you can grab it in the description. Now, to be honest, I don't actually do this next one because it feels a little bit over the top for my situation, but depending on how concerned you are, it might be an option, and it's just kind of fun to know. You hide a small piece of paper or a receipt inside of the door jamb. It falls when the doors open, and so if you get home and you see it on the ground, you know someone's been in there. Very James Bond. Obviously, you also have to watch for it when you open the door so you don't actually trick yourself. For me personally, this feels like way overkill. But if you're in super sketchy accommodation or carrying really expensive gear or hiding government secrets, then it might make sense. Of course, this only tells you if someone came in, not exactly what they did once they're already in. That's why you'd want to combine it with the spatial awareness thing that we mentioned earlier. But yeah, for most people, probably overkill. Okay, speaking of limiting the number of people that enter your room, if my stay is less than 5 days, I'll ask during check-in for my room not to get cleaned. Since I keep my room tidy anyway, this really doesn't matter to me. And the core principle is simple. The less reasons people have to enter your room, the better. Now, I do make exceptions. If the place is right on the beach and it's likely to get sandy on the first day, I'll still let them clean. I'm not overly strict or paranoid on this, it's just a general guideline. But following it helps protect from stories like the housekeeper at the Venetian in Las Vegas who was arrested for stealing $100,000 in cash and jewelry from guest rooms. Now, most housekeepers are honest and hardworking people, but it only takes one bad egg with a master key to ruin your trip. Most hotels will be happy to accept your request for no cleaning because it saves them on labor. And if you do end up needing something, you can always just call them or ask for more towels or whatever you need. And an unrelated tip, always tell hotels when you have a special occasion because you might get cool treats, like what they sent us for our baby moon. All right, so we've talked about the behavioral stuff, so now let's talk about how to physically secure your belongings. Because the easiest theft of all is just walking out with your entire bag. It reminds me of a story of a tourist in San Francisco who sued a hotel after staff accidentally gave his luggage to someone who just claimed it was theirs and then walked out. It had over $8,000 worth of belongings inside and he just walked out. So here's what I do. I either use a bike combination lock or one of these cool retract lock thingies. With these bad boys, you can lock your bag to a fixed object like a bed frame or a piece of furniture or something. It's not exactly Fort Knox, but it does make you a harder target than the room next door. But there's one big weakness to this plan, and that is that with normal luggage, you can normally just poke open the zippers with a pen and get inside. So it kind of defeats the purpose of using a cable lock to secure your backpack if they can just poke the zipper open. One solution is to use a bag like this PackSafe bag or some other security type luggages that I'll link to that have puncture-proof zippers. When I'm traveling with my PackSafe, I can use my cable lock with confidence, and I kind of feel like I have a mini traveling safe with me because the bag itself is lined with wire mesh. But on other trips, when I'm traveling with a normal suitcase, I normally just skip the cable lock because the zippers are vulnerable anyways. That's when I have to rely on this next strategy instead, hiding stuff, because if they can't find it, they can't steal it. I'm a big fan of the old hollowed out deodorant trick. You can buy these as secret hiding spots or just use an old one from home. You could hide small things in a rolled up pair of socks, in one of these secret pocket hangers. I've even been known to put my laptop in the microwave before. Because if you imagine that you're a thief and you have 10 seconds to scan a room, you're probably not gonna check inside the microwave. Maybe now you will. Just try to think like a thief. Where would be the first places you look? Then don't hide it there. Most hotel theft is super quick. It's not like they're doing a forensic search through your entire room. Now, you might be wondering, why not just use the hotel safe? I have an entire video on why I never ever use hotel safes, plus some other super secret hiding spots that you can watch here. Hotel safes are not as secure as you think, and if you're serious about protecting your stuff, make sure to watch this one next. Like, subscribe to the things. Love you. Bye-bye.